with Bobbie on the Dialogues with Jagero show. Niko na mpenzi wangu hapa, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman that I truly, truly have grown to love. Madam Felgona Oyugah.
My daughter friend.
Ayo maneno who feel so beautiful. Yeah. So beautiful.
Just like you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining me, Felly.
Karibu sana.
Today I want us to talk about all things women, as is our norm.
Yes.
I want us to discuss the taxes that motherhood or just being a woman takes you through. You know, the silent work that the women in the families do. And we don't really notice unless the women are out. Then you see the big gap that has been left by the woman.
Yes.
And I want us to dive into, you know, motherhood especially, just what being a mother looks like. The kind of the day-to-day sacrifices and fate that just a woman who's a mother has to go through on a normal life. And why it is that it looks like we're asking for too much, even when we're asking for things like a good settlement when it comes to divorce, or when we're asking to be seen, or we're even just saying, I'm here, like, you know, as women. So first I'd ask, do you think as women, the kind of work, especially the emotional labor that we put into relationships is noticed? And this can be in any setting, even with your kids, with your husband, with your friends, with your mother, with the people around, even at the workplace. Do you think we really get the credit we deserve for the silent, and even, is there silent work that we are doing anyway?
No, we do a lot of work. And sometimes I think being a woman, being a mother, being a wife is weaponized. So nobody cares what you're going through. You just must do this. And if you don't do this, then you're that. And sometimes even some of those responsibilities, I don't know where people decided some of these things were women's work. We were not there when they were deciding. But some of them, the things people decided were women's work, are sometimes formed or structured in such a way that it stifles a woman's growth. It's like you can't do anything else. Because by the time you wake up, wake your husband, iron his shirt, go and wake the babies, make sure everybody has their shoes for school, they have brushed their teeth, run down, make sure there is breakfast, they eat breakfast, make sure everybody gets to where they're going to on time. Then by the time you come back, maybe you have now a small baby. It's the time that small one is waking up, feed that one, wash that one. By the time you're doing that, it's time for them to sleep. Then, you want to pick things around the house, you pick them, try and sweep, try and straighten it, and then you remember, I've not even had a cup of tea. Then now you have a cup of tea.
Midday now.
Yes, it's midday, and now this other one is waking up, now wants food, so you leave your tea half taken, so it's in the cup there, and then you quickly mash or do whatever for this baby, feed the baby. Now the baby wants to play because it's supposed to stimulate the baby. You can't just look at it. So you stimulate the baby, maybe take it outside to the sun, bring back the baby.
Zoom call, so when are you doing all these things?
But remember now, somebody said somewhere your first priority is whatever. So you have not yet even, so now that Zoom call, you're just like, how am I going to get this Zoom call? So you try and see, can you make it for part of it, or then start taking it? And then you start taking it as you're trying to pick the things, trying to fix the baby. Now maybe children have to be picked from school. It's 3:45. So you're not trying to take it in the cars. You go along. Of course, you've barely heard what is going on in that Zoom call. You've picked the kids. They are tired. They are whining. Imagine. Yeah, but somehow you find a way to either wipe or pass through the shower. Yes. Maybe you didn't even bath. You just passed through and So it's evening, and then come back, and then your husband is upset you didn't pick his shirt from the laundry.
Why is the house dirty? What are you doing the whole day? What are you doing?
You just sit here the whole day, and me, I've been working. I don't know what my boss told me, but who told me? Everything is happening. Then you try to put things together, then you try to sleep. By the time you're trying to sleep also, you have wifely duties now. You're supposed to somehow turn into a sexy goddess and try and fulfill this one here, because you can hear the old women in your head saying, if you don't give him, he'll go and look for it outside. So there's a lot that goes in. And some of these things, I don't know why we decided it was our duty. I don't know why somebody said that we can't get help, that if you have a maid, you are lazy. If you have a maid, you are not really wife material. If you have a maid, why should your husband have you? Then let him marry the maid. So some of these things are discussions that should be had. I say this now in retrospect. I jumped into so many things without having any discussions, even with myself. But some of these discussions right now should be had in advance. You should know the type of person it is you are getting involved in. Because there's some people in their houses, the mother was working. Do you remember there's a discussion we were having here the last time when somebody says he loves his mother so much, and why? Because every time she's in the house, she serves the father. Yeah. She serves him.
Yeah.
But those are his. She serves him. She makes him food. She brings it to him. And then kneels. The only thing that she now doesn't do that is of service, that she listens to him and lets him talk, and doesn't talk over him in front of the children.
That's why my mother was the best woman in the whole world.
Yeah.
Where are women of these days like our mothers?
Yeah, so you must really know who this person is. Yeah, and also even in that light, I told somebody the other day, we are the next wild women like our mothers. You better be living a good life. So that when your son is looking for a woman like his mother, when he says that, it is not that suffering woman. It's like a woman who enjoyed herself, who made time for herself, who did things that filled her soul. That's not to say that motherhood is a drug, but it can take away so much from a woman if not balanced. You see, we compare women now and say even my mother, even if I compare myself to my mother. So my mother had us so I was born in 1978, so now we were like people you could see maybe in the 80s. So my siblings came in the 80s. But in that time, my mother had her mother. Yeah, so she would give birth and go home for the first few weeks or a month, whatever, and she would be taken care of. So her mother was there, her aunt was there, her siblings were there. So people were helping her. By the time she was coming back, if she didn't have a maid, my grandmother had already looked for a maid, and put her on the train. Those days it was the train with the maid. Yeah, and by the time she was being put on the train, there was bananas, there was groundnuts, there was potatoes, there was a chicken, a dead one and a live one.
Yes.
Yeah, there was fish, there was burgers, there was even meat, because the meat for home tastes different. So she came. So by the time she was reaching here, that is a different
You're
woman.
sorted.
Yes. But now, fast forward now, there are people, you might still have your mother, but she's maybe far away, or she's still working. Because these days, what do people have that she's still in the workforce. So she has her job, she cannot leave her job to come and look after you, because sometimes even that job she's working, she's helping you.
She's supporting you as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's here in the city where she's getting a maid for you. She's buying that skuma the same way you're buying skuma. Yeah. That is if you have one. Yeah, so you don't have community as such. So everything is you. You are trying to get a maid. You wake up in the morning. She's trying to boil the baby, or she's
putting pea
in your tea, or she's there squatting over your sufuria. There's everything that is happening. So you're trying to balance all this. At the same time, you have no help. You have no reference. You have nothing. Remember, those old people your mother was there busy telling you, this is how you hold the baby. This is how, bring the baby. Take a nap. Do this. Do the other. So this is all you. Yeah, I remember watching this famous couple where that man did that thing, and one of the older interviews. That's when people are watching and saying, "Oh my God, it was all there all the time."
Yeah.
When this lady is saying she has these 3 kids, 2 are under 2 years old, and the other one is just reaching is a toddler with all the tantrums, and this man is like, can you imagine? She's looking at me badly when I'm coming to watch TV. Just like, yeah. So sometimes I think this is what I want to believe. And I always go back to this thing. And from the time I got that aha moment, you can't tell me anything. Somebody must like you. Somebody must really like you. Because if they like you, they can see you when you're drowning. You can't just wake up in the morning. Any normal person, if you have 3 children under 5, one is a newborn, weeks old, how can you not see I'm drowning? Yeah, how can you just, now those are the things I think, can you imagine? And she's looking at me, I don't know with what type of eyes, what's wrong with you? And these are your children. Yeah, but for you, your thing is like, I need to go out and work. Same couple. This lady gives a story of how she labored by herself the whole night because this man says he was doing work for a client. First of all, pregnancy is not an emergency. Where she woke up in the morning and said, oops, I'm pregnant.
Yes.
Now you can't change any plans. Yeah, you have a whole 9 months. If you know I'm due next week, people are human beings. Yes, people are human beings. You tell your client, oh, this is a good job, thank you for it. But can I either start it now because I must finish it by tomorrow, or I need to do it at the end of the month because I have this pregnant wife and this. People do that. I mean, you're not the first person to get a job from a client. Yeah, and everybody needs that job. But you're not working for a machine that doesn't understand that you have this thing going on in your life. Yeah. And if you're good at a job and that's why you got it, then they'll understand.
Trust you, yeah.
And you'll work around it. But can you imagine a woman laboring the whole night by herself and ends up giving birth in Dakar, and then you call it strength of a woman? You know the things
when they're talking about the women when they're there. Yes, my wife is so strong.
No, she's neglected. A lot of the things we call strength of a woman, strength of a mother is neglect. It is abuse. That, oh, my mother, she was there for us. She would give us the last chicken. Why? Where was your father eating a whole chicken? Why couldn't you cut that chicken? If it was 5 pieces, you are 3 children. I mean, you are 4 children. Then your father and your mother can share that 1 piece. Yeah, but why is it so good that a woman was being neglected, was being starved?
And she cooked.
She
probably even bought the food.
Yes, me, I'm telling you, children would drink soup with their father.
But imagine that I'm in Rosafi.
But
fuck them kids.
Yeah, couldn't soup. You people, you are young, you'll grow and buy your own chicken. But you see, God. So a lot of the things we call suffering woman, and I don't know why we are so fixated with a woman who is suffering. That's when she's a woman. But then, if you want to feel so horrible, read people's Mother's Day posts. I'm yet to see one who said, my mother loved to laugh. She used to dance.
Yeah,
and she would sing, and she used to wear this type of dress, and post a picture of your mother.
Happy.
Yeah, it's always, this woman is a great woman, strong woman. She was to take from morning. Yes, and she would be our nurse. Even if we were in the hospital, she would be there with us. She never used to sleep. Then now the other one that somehow makes them feel even better, she's a prayer warrior. She never used to sleep praying for us. Where is your mother praying for you the whole night? What is wrong with you people? You can't pray?
When does she sleep?
Yeah, but she's a prayer warrior. She'd pray for me. And then the mother drops down dead. There's a funeral that happened this past I think weekend. But then let me tell you one thing about me. I love to watch funerals. I don't know whether I'm morbid. I don't know what it is about me, but I watch funerals like I know people. But mostly it's because I want to, and especially if it's a woman who's died. No, I just watch all of them because, of course, even if it's a man you've left a widow, I just want to figure out what's happening, the dynamics of the woman there. So this one, they'd lost their mother. And all the children were saying all the good things, how the mother would be struggling to put them food. But her brother came and spoke. And said, all these nice things you people are saying, those are stories. I'm the young brother, I've suffered with my sister. Yeah, I know how we have suffered. You have slept on a gunia. I have gone to my sister and found her with children. They have nothing. I've taken the children with me home to live with them so that my sister can make something of herself. You understand? How many people have that woman? I mean, that brother or that sister. Who can be honest? Who can give you a voice? Who can give your pain a voice? Who will not let your pain be silenced? Because people have chosen to pick what it is they want, because this is what they've decided motherhood is. There are so many women in a lot of pain, neglected and abused, and their children are putting flowers on that neglect and calling it strength of a woman. Yeah, and then you fall down dead and you fall down early because of all the things you have gone through.
You always know the right things to say. Like as you're speaking, I'm thinking about, I remember a time when we were way younger and we'd go to church every Sunday together. And I'm sure other families looking out from outside looking in, they're like, this is a very prim and proper family. They're all well dressed and they always show up to church looking nice. But we would get in the car before my mom, and my dad was always in a foul mood. He was always complaining.
She's late.
Anachelewanga, why doesn't she wake up early and do all these things early, because she's
and
wasting
all
her
he
time.
had to do was put on his clothes.
Tunachelewa church kila saa tunachelewa, and my mom would come in the car, and now the foul mood would be transferred to her, because everyone is looking at her like unatuchelewesha, and she'd be trying to explain, do you realize I have to take care of everyone even before I shower? I have to make sure everyone is
He woke
fine.
up in the morning, showered, found his shirt ironed, went down, found put on, and now he's at the car wondering why people are taking too long to come out.
Why do you think it's difficult for us to be able to see women and the invisible labor that they put into relationships? I mean, I see it even in the workplace. This is not showing up only in intimate relationships. In the workplace, if you're working with men, and maybe you can tell me if I'm lying, I tend to see situations where I'm working with men. It's almost as if I have to beg them to have empathy sometimes. It's like I have to tell them, yo, you know what? These people are human beings, and we have to care about their well-being. Or this deal that we're making, why don't you give a fuck about your
workers and whatever? It's
like I have to beg them to have like a human emotion
and feel for other people. And that is why they created a role for HR, and they prefer women to be HR because they are like mothers, and because they have decided they're just not going to. I'm not saying there are no HR professionals that are men, but if you look at it originally, you will find that they would mostly be women, because they decided women are empathetic, and because they are lazy, they will not want to take part in the emotional aspect of other people. So and you'll hear it. Very many people say, "Tell your company at least take on our mama." So that they can,
no one is a skizana kuskizwa.
Yes, because then you need that mother aspect, which they're taking for free, because you didn't come to work to mother people.
Yes.
And you also find that even where men are seated at the boardroom, you would be asked to get the tea.
Guys.
They'll be like,
but that happens.
It happens. I remember it happened to me once, and I had to tell them, can you people carry your wives?
Are you serious?
Please carry your wife to serve you. Because again, do you know where it all comes from? Women submit to your husbands, but it's supposed to be to you, not any man.
Yes.
It's not to submit to men.
Yes.
And you'll hear very many men quote that Bible verse so happily. Women must submit to who? Finish. Submit to your husband. And if that husband loves you as Christ loved the church, finish the whole whatever.
Conditions.
Yes. Women, submit to your husbands. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Are you ready to die for?
And they almost get shocked in whatever setting, whether it's the house, whether it's in the work. They get shocked when you have pushback, when it comes to you
because
applying yourself emotionally for free.
I'm not your mother. I'm not your wife. I'm not your sister. Sometimes I'm not even your friend. So we are two adults. We have come out. If there's nothing, you're not even my boyfriend. So why should I be doing girlfriend things or wife things for you just because you are a man? So a lot of women, and then you'll even be shamed that you're not wife material if you're not doing it. You're not even wife material. Anyway, sitting here and you can't even serve us. It's like,
what?
Yeah.
And I've seen these videos even online of men being interviewed randomly, wanasimamishwa kwa barabara with their kids, and they're asked questions. Questions like, when is your daughter's birthday? What is your son's second name? Which school does your son go to? Have you seen these videos? And these men are clueless.
In fact, they look shocked.
Mpaka jina anaulizwa jina ya bibi yake ya pili ama jina ya father-in-law. Like, how many siblings does your wife have? Zero.
Surprise.
Zero.
But I think that is carelessness.
Do you think it is? Yeah, that's what I want to ask. Do you think it's the way they've been socialized, and then we can say, okay, that's how men are. Men are not typically emotional beings. They nasi must, because they work hard and they bring the money home. Or do you think that men are just lazy, uncaring? Because even when you have conversations with men, you'll realize, like, let's say you're texting, you'll realize they hardly ask you questions.
And that is a man who doesn't like it. Let me tell you, I'm 46 years old, and I discovered that.
Yes.
The only way we are going to live in a place where women are seen as people and treated as people is if we hang around men that like us. But if we continue rewarding men that don't like us with our time, with our labor, with our bodies, then they have no need to behave. Because what's the point? Free. Yeah, I still marry a woman and I'm a horrible human being. She'll have my babies and I'm a beast. You know, yes. I will beat her blue, black, and wish she was prettier and even tell her in her face and she will be here. Yeah? There are men who like women and they don't even have come from this modern quote-unquote time. There are how many old men who you see. In fact, I saw this on TikTok the other day, and I was so amused. Not amused her, but I was just like, oh my, you know, I was wowed. So this man says, he was saying that he never thought he would be ironing in his house after he ironed in his mother's house because he grew up and his mother is West African. So he said it was his work to iron his mother's clothes. And he was explaining, you know, like the way their clothes can be so elaborate and whatnot. So he had to iron them. And he thought now maybe when he's gotten married, he doesn't have to iron. But now that is now his role now in his marriage.
See, and he's a good iron.
Yeah. And he irons his wife's clothes and he irons his son's clothes, and he's going to teach now his son to iron, or whoever it is. And he says that's what he does. Everybody knows if you need your clothes ironed, yeah. And he's talking about it easily. He's not a Tim Modern, I don't know, whatever, but of course somebody call him a simp or whatnot, yeah. But you see, he likes his wife. And he's like, I like this girl so much that I like her dress ironed well, and I can iron. So I will iron it. And it doesn't take away from his manhood. Yeah. So a lot of these things we are fighting and shouting ourselves hoarse over can be done as simply as just turning away as much as possible from people who don't like us. Yeah, we can work together, but I don't have to indulge you beyond a cordial work relationship. Yeah. If I meet you outside, I don't have to hang around you. Yeah. I don't have to care for you. I'm not going to try and make you like me. I'm not performing. Because that's what we do a lot of. Then you wonder why men are behaving badly. But you knew he was a bad person. He didn't like you even before you married him. Yeah. Now you're wondering, how come you don't like the children? You see me suffering. You don't know even my mother's name. Yeah. But there's a man who will meet you, Bobbie. In 1 week, he will ask you so many questions. He'll want to know about you. He'll want to know about your day. Anything that is important to you. But can just be like, hey. Yes. And that, let me tell you, we can just put that in somewhere. That type of man will scare you. And that is the worst thing about being in a bad relationship than meeting a good man. Because you don't understand. The only time you have been seen is when they're nitpicking you. Your stomach is big. You're not wife material.
I've never been liked. These niggas have never liked me.
But the day you meet the person who likes you, he sees all that, but it's not to nitpick you because he wants to know you. And he likes you with everything. There's like a proverb that, I think there's an African proverb that says, if a man likes a cow, he likes the cow with all, you know, like the way cows sometimes sleep in their cow dung, so there'll be things hanging from them. It has a rope, it is smelly, but you like the cow. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Yes. So a lot of these things start, if women started hanging around men that liked them, I think we'd see something. Yeah.
And different. That's a really, I was actually going to ask what's the easiest way to know that a man actually likes you? Because also we keep saying, date people who like you, hang around people who like you. What does that look like and what is that?
I always compare it to a platonic relationship. If we are just friends, Bobbie, I can double text. I don't have to think. Even if I texted you before and then I text you now before you've responded, I'm not thinking I'm not going to text Bobbie until she texts me again. There's already something wrong. You're already feeling something. Yes. Yeah. Why are we arguing? But if you're friends, you don't care. You'll be like, Bobbie, I've seen this dress before even you have had time to respond. Then Jagaro passed by. Yeah. You know, because it's easy. Yes. Your body will tell you. You will always know somebody who likes, but we don't, and especially women, we really negotiate with ourselves. You really, but it's not so bad. I know he didn't say good morning, but he must have been tired. You know, yesterday I saw on Nini, he had gone to the gym. As in, you've made it your work to
answer the questions.
You've become his biggest advocate. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. He should just want to call in the morning and say, sorry, babe, I didn't call you last night. This was happening, whatever. And sometimes even that night when it's happening, because how long does it take to send a text? Or even a voice note, okay, you don't want to type, just like, hey, hi, babe.
Yes.
It's easy. I'm telling you, there's somebody who told us the day she found a man who likes her, she couldn't believe. This man can be in a meeting, high-level meeting, watching your boyfriend who is in the bar watching a game and can't call you to even tell your mother. This one is high-level, where people are moving money.
Yes.
Yeah. And he would just quickly say, hey, I'm in a meeting, this was happening. I'll call you after I'm done. And he calls after he's done. Not to say, takutafuta. That is whatever. Bob, and it's because you've called him. Bobbie, sawa. What are you doing tomorrow? Oh, no, I don't know. Okay, sawa, nitakutafuta. The next time you hear about from him is 3 weeks.
Yani, if you don't call him, he never, ever, ever calls you.
If he calls you, if he calls you, where are you? As you come to such and such, and it's 9 p.m. Come to such and such, 10 p.m. So he wants to buy you a few beers. Maybe the other people he tried, they didn't come.
They were busy.
Yeah.
Robertta
kapigia ngojeni mtaona atakuja hapa mbio na kamevaa nguo smart. You've spread your last perfume, you've been doing it like this. You've spread, pocket yourself and you run there.
Yes.
You know when somebody doesn't like you. And I wish we'd just all do that maybe for a few days. Just stop. When this person doesn't like you, stop it. Yeah, stop it. It's your life, Nani. I don't know how we'll ever be able to understand that it's your life. I think maybe women should attend more funerals. Yeah. And of women especially. Yeah. Attend more funerals of women and go and see the things people say about you. Me, in fact, I want them to say such bad things that people, there's nobody saying how I suffered. Yeah, I might have suffered at some point. I don't hear that rubbish. I want people to say, because when people argue, this one is just talking and she's always in the bar. Yeah, I'm in the bar.
She loved her life.
Yeah, I'll be dancing to rumba. In fact, I tell my kids, you make sure don't put that coffin there and people are dancing. Yeah, put him in the middle. Then there's my band, they know themselves. They'll be singing me, calling me, Felly. I'll be there. Whatever. Yeah. We really need to change it. And nobody's going to change it for us. No papers that we sit down and write. No conferences that we attend. Because you attend that conference and because you think you're liberated, now go and let somebody do it as they feel like with you. After you've spoken in a conference and said how these things should happen. Start with you, every woman. Stop rewarding men who don't like you.
True.
Yeah.
Felly, I want to bring it back home. What are some of the tangible sacrifices, especially in motherhood, that women are making consistently that as kids we're not able to see and therefore we might never be able to appreciate? And I think even in the setting where the dad is not present, he's not even going to be able to mention it so that the kids can realize these are the things that your mother is actually going through just to be here for all of us. So as a mom, what are some of the day-to-day things that you go through? You don't have to get personal, but I think it would be nicer if we can relate on a personal level. What are some of the things you go through or some of the things you think women are doing on a day-to-day basis that is actually giving their all, but we're not noticing, we're not acknowledging? It's like we don't even give a fuck about it.
First, even before we start day to day.
All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So, what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjigero.co.ke. And now, back to programming.
That your mother gave birth to you. Giving birth is a life-threatening experience. People don't know it.
Yes.
Yeah. It is life-threatening. It's life-altering.
They make it look like it's this beautiful,
oh my God. Yeah, this one, the way you see it, and it's neat. It's so sanitary. You know the way you sit in the whatever. Oh, she pushes, and then the baby comes when it is clean, and then you hold it, and everybody's happy and smiling. My friend, first of all, carrying a pregnancy. And if you're carrying a pregnancy of somebody who doesn't like you, you're going to you struggle with that pregnancy because you have no support. And when you think about, that's what I was telling you, even when that woman was talking about giving birth in the cab, it's a nice story if somebody was making a movie for people to watch. But it is horrible. What type of man is making you give birth by the roadside? You are naked in somebody's car in traffic and you have given birth.
You even had to call a friend, not him.
Yes.
Not him,
and it's not that he's out of the country. It's not that he's dead. It's not that you found out you're pregnant now and they're giving birth now. It is 9 months where people can plan. So a lot of women give birth without support. So you're there struggling, and giving birth takes everything out of you. In fact, if you watch a lot of leave these ones that they like showing us that are sanitary. When a woman has given birth, even the shivers, because your body, you've been rocked to the core.
It's traumatic.
Yes. So your body is shivering. You have tremors. There are some women who for a while don't even want that child because you have been through so much pain, and everything in you is rejected because your body wants to protect you. Yeah, and it's saying, no, guys, this is the thing that has caused us all these problems. So there are some women who have said, nani nitole hiyo kitu hapo, sitaki kuiona, because you have gone through so much. I don't know about many women's experiences, but if we are honest, and I've talked to a few women and myself who has given birth to 5 children, if we are honest, even that motherhood, that mothering instinct, it's not an instinct. You know the way we are told that you'll give birth and suddenly you'll be overwhelmed with love. Maybe if you have support, maybe if you have care, you might have time to then have that instinct kick in. But if you've not had it, the trauma, your body just wants to look after itself. So for very many women who've had difficult pregnancies, this instinct people talk about, you're working on it.
Yeah, movie.
Yeah, you're working on it by yourself. You're trying to love this child. But
this baby is a stranger. You don't even know them.
Yeah. In fact, somebody was saying they used to refer to pregnancies as cancers. It's a foreign body growing.
Actually, some pregnancies end up becoming cancer.
Yeah. So you can imagine.
It's like a parasite.
Yeah. So you then give birth to these children. Then now the struggle starts. There's no sleep. Again, remember, if you have no support, whether the partner is there or not. So you're waking up, I don't know how many times, you are sore, your body can't understand. First of all, even just getting balance, because now you're no longer this thing, now you are trying, from those small things, just balancing yourself. You are bleeding. Some of these things nobody even tells you. Very many women have wondered, why am I still bleeding? I thought I've given birth.
Yeah.
But so everything is happening. Your uterus is contracting. It is painful. You are trying to breastfeed this child, and if you can't, your nipples are cracked, your breasts are engorged. It is messy, it is smelly. And that's when I saw that thing, the video of that man telling that girl, unanuka maziwa, I was so sad. If that girl has parents or siblings, they should go and pick their child up. Fuck that guy. Yeah, because you cannot do that to somebody, whether it was content or not. Fuck that guy. Yeah, so can you imagine, this is your first child? Where were you being taught how to have these children? And not even there with your mother. Yeah. So it's smelly. It is messy. It is disgusting. There's blood everywhere. Me, Kwaza, who doesn't even like blood. So you can imagine, I'd wake up early in the morning to go to the bathroom before women go there and start. Yeah. So then now you're there struggling with this child. Your body is also doing what it wants. And then there'll be sleepless nights. And let me tell you, those sleepless nights are now forever, because even when your children are adults, if you can't see them, you worry.
Yes.
You'll be like, have they eaten? And you're always praying that whoever comes close to your child or around your child has empathy for your child. That they will not treat your child as an animal. You know, they will see them as a human being. In these days of tribalism, you're like, oh my God, we are from this tribe. So what will be his experience be like? You know, what will be her experience? You're like, okay, you're from this race. If I send you to this part of the world.
Police brutality.
Yeah, so you're always thinking. Remember, you're doing all this and you might not necessarily have the tools. You might not have been mothered for this. You know, you might still have your mother, but she doesn't understand what it is you people are going through.
Yes.
You might not have your mother and you need a mother and you're like, I just want my mom to be able to go and say, I don't know what to do with these things. Yes. Or have your mother and say, at least I can go and leave them with my mother and I know they're okay and I can go even for 3 months, figure this shit out and come back and take my kids, you know. You might have a mother who's just not interested, doesn't have the tools also, did what she knew, and for her maybe she thought, I have you, and then you
Life
might goes on. Yeah, you might have a mother who's traumatized, maybe went through sexual assault. Now you're here, maybe you've gone through it and the guilt is killing her. She doesn't know how, and you're there thinking this woman doesn't care. It's such a complex process, motherhood. I said another time that I actually admire women who can choose to be childless, because it's not as easy as giving birth.
How do you mean?
It's not as, the people say, hey, ujaza, na imefika, I don't know what. If ujaza and you're not sure, usizae, because this is a lifelong, sometimes thankless, and it's going to be one of the hardest things you'll ever do. And sometimes you'll do your best, and it will not be the best. You still hear children that, I wanted my mother to hug me. What time were you hugging? And you don't even know what they're going to eat, if you're going to be killed, if like you had so many things going on. Of course, every mother wants to be a soft mother. But how? Another woman gave her story. She says she went out with a man who owned a butchery because that was the only way her children could get meat, because she couldn't afford meat. So she was going out with this butcher because she was sure of a quarter 3 times a week. So the sacrifices women make. How many stories have you heard? There are women who are sex workers and they keep their children completely separate, but they have to do this. This is all I know how to do. Yeah, but I want to do it, and so that I can make sure these children don't have to live the life I'm living. Have more options, because that's what a mother always wants for her children, is more options. Because very many women don't have many options. Yeah, your options are so limited, and especially when you have the kids. Because how far can you go?
Why do you think then women are not being very vocal about this? Because, or are we, and we're just not being listened to? Because as an adult right now is when I'm starting to be able to comprehend and even look back and see these things.
And see your mother.
And see my mom. But I wasn't able to. There's a time my mom sent a message in the family group that was saying, nobody asks what my hobbies were, what my nini, what music I liked, what nini. All of you just love me as your mom, as what you're getting from me. And that made me really sad, because up to that point, I had only ever seen myself as a daughter and my mom as a mother. I didn't even ever think that it was my responsibility to know my mom, or to know
be
that
her
she
friend.
or to know that she has things. And this can be complex because my relationship with my mom is different. But I'm sure a lot of people who had good relationships with their mom could probably still be doing
don't get
the
it.
same thing.
No, I also feel that.
And even in the things like birthdays, the mummies always remember everyone's birthday. They make sure there's, anaweza kuwa hana pesa kabisa,
lakini utakula kakeki hapo,
kakeki katapatikana. But when it's mom's birthday, it just goes. Nobody remembers Valentine's, Mother's Days. And then on this other side, everyone is saying, we celebrate women. We're empowering women. We're always thinking about women. But kuna hii whole other silent labor that the women are doing that is not being talked about.
Motherhood is crazy. I don't think you can only understand once you are inside. Oh my God, you don't even know how to explain to somebody. And that is why I also say, start having babies in your 30s. When you have something between your ears, one. Because at 20 you're a child.
Yes.
At 25 you're a child. Have some experience with life, with money, with yourself. Because even at that 20, you are just a child. 20-something, you're a child, and then you're trying to have this other child also. You don't make the best decisions. Move it a bit. And if you are a woman, even a man, befriend your mom and allow her to be a woman, a girl. Yeah, because we might be saying we are friends with our mothers, but as long as she's at home with dad, as long as, people have those whatevers, as long as when we go home, dad is looked after, as long as there's a home, so if you even hear, the only places she can go is a church function. It doesn't occur to you that she can want anything else. Yeah, so even if it has to go to Mombasa, she must go with the church. You can't even, it doesn't occur to you that she can want to go to Mombasa by herself or drink a glass of wine somewhere and just chill. Have her own holiday. Yeah, so a lot of it also is not allowing her pain to go in silence. Yeah, not allowing any injustices that happen to her to go quietly. And remember, I think one of the talks we had, we said, like Tyler Perry and why he portrays women in a certain way. And we talked about also Ngugi wa Thiong'o, the late Ngugi wa Thiong'o's son, who I think he said explicitly that he didn't want his mother to disappear. Yeah. So a lot of the things we say, fight for your mother in that way. If you can, if you are able to, don't do it if it is life-threatening. There's some idiot one day who said, yes. There's someone who said they were told somewhere that they should go and look for forgiveness from their fathers and ask for a blessing. Don't do that. Don't just go anywhere blindly, and especially if the person is not present. If your mother has been present, she might not have been a good one, but she has been there. Or your father, try and understand. Try and understand with professional advice. These days you have a lot of tools. So don't do things because the Bible says and the
Leave
Bible.
it there.
No, just carry the Bible and you go there. The pastor said and you go there and get yourself into more problems. It might not be physical harm, but it can be another mental issue that you're getting yourself into. But try as much as possible, if you have a mother, to humanize her. Yeah, she might not have been a bad person. She might have been nice to you. I mean, as in like for you, you think I had a good mother, but you don't humanize her. I think the best gift you could give your mother is to humanize her.
What are some of the tangible ways that we can actually make our mothers feel humanized and that we can actually show grace to them? Because we're consistently saying, be there for your mom. Show your mom grace. She's just a girl. She's just a woman. She's doing life for the first time as well. But what are some actual tangible ways that we can do this? Because sometimes you think me being a good kid, that's all chill. Even when we ask our moms, you call your mom and say, Mommy, what do you want for your birthday? Mi nataka tu mukwe na afya njema. Nataka tu mukwe na, and you try and probe, but sometimes the question is coming from, I actually don't know my mom. I don't know what she might like. Yes. I don't know what I can gift her. So sometimes you want to ask her, but they have those answers for me. As long as watoto wangu wamekula
and sometimes all those things, those are things that have been rehearsed. That's what is expected of you. She doesn't even think she has permission to say that I would like a holiday or I want a new dress.
Yes.
I'd say befriend
like she's
her.
Asking for
too much. Yes, I say befriend her. Befriend her. Now start making friends. Now you're adults. She doesn't need to wipe your ass. You know that type of thing.
Yes.
Become a friend and just figure out what she likes. Sometimes there are people who've realized, kumbe, this woman has such a sense of humor. You didn't even know that. So befriend her, and then try to make her life a little easier if you can. And you can with whatever it is, even if it's giving an extra 100 bob, maybe that's all you can afford, and say, listen, you should not, or making sure she has airtime, she can talk to her friends or whatever it is, talk to you. If you can afford to get her a shamba boy or whatever it is, relieve her of labor. I think mothers need rest. And whatever rest you can give her, depending on where it is you are in life, even if it means maybe going home and cutting the grass, try and give her as much as rest as possible. There are so many of us who are in the city, and their mothers are at home drinking water with goats. It's not like you can't get piped water.
Yes.
Yeah, and don't tell her stupid things like that, but she doesn't want, because if you ask her, she'll tell you, use your money for yes, yeah. So you already know that, so stop trying to use it as an excuse. Yeah, try to give her as much rest as you can. Yeah,
that's actually really good.
Yeah, because she needs rest.
Yeah,
and many women don't think they deserve to rest. So sometimes you think, my mother is always busy. In fact, if your mother is always busy, then that's a sign. There's something she's trying to numb. There's something she doesn't want to sit with and confront. So you're thinking, she's always busy. Even if there's nothing to do now, you see her sweeping walls. Because she cannot sit down and confront herself.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you'd have to be that person that helps her do that.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I like that that's actually tangible, stuff, because we're always consistently looking for ways to make our moms life easier. Na ukweli ukimuuliza atasema tu
yes.
Hakuna mimi niko sawa.
And sometimes she tell you niko sawa and maybe she doesn't even have shoes. You also have to if somebody is your friend, that's why I said befriend her. If somebody is your friend, you notice things, you're like, oh my God, that girl's shoe is torn. Why is she only wearing this one dress?
Because mothers notice all these things about everyone.
Yes.
They
but you don't even notice.
Missing at work, what is missing at home, what is missing with the kids, and then they put themselves at the back.
Yeah. So you're wondering how come you didn't realize your mother was dead and she died 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're thinking I should call on Friday. So you don't even realize that even she's not feeling well.
Oh my goodness.
And sometimes I think it's also just give them permission. And say, just have those talks with her. Say, Mom, you did so much for us. Thank you. Now allow me to do something for you. Yeah, allow me to do this. It will make me happy if I'm able to build you this house. Yeah, it will make me happy if I'm able to come and pick you and let's go to the coast. There are women who have never reached Machakos. Yeah, take her to the coast. Let her put her legs in the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah, just have those talks. You don't have to, this is not a silent operation that you're tricking her into something. Tell her, just have those conversations that I actually appreciate. I've seen it. I see you. I've seen you do this for me. I've seen you go without. Mom, now I can afford. Allow me to buy you a dress and a shoe. Take her out and tell her, pick a dress. Yeah, and pick this section. Don't pick these cheap ones. Pick this one.
Because they have that problem also.
At the expensive sana. I tell her, pick these ones.
Yes.
Yeah. So give her permission. Yeah, sometimes also they need permission.
Coming back to this silent emotional labor that as women we're consistently doing, as someone who's gone through divorce especially, how are you able to quantify the nurturing aspect, the emotional labor, the making sure everyone else is successful while you're lagging behind, healing your body, trying to even just come back to yourself? How are you able to quantify that in a situation where you're breaking up with someone and you're saying, well, hakuna kitu umenifanyia, kazi yako ni kuzaza hapa, ukakuja ukazaa, na ukaenda, mimi naenda na mali yangu yote. How are you even able to quantify?
You'll get a lot of peace when you know hata your mali yakunanga. So when you're leaving, what are you quantifying for what? Yes. What is it going to give you? His shoes.
This is if you have a broke nigga.
Because when you look at it, some of those things are nice in the Western context. But unless it's somebody, I don't know from which families. Because even if you say political class, a lot of these people live on loans and whatnot.
Yes.
So it's very rare that you'll have... if he has a job, you can get maintenance for the children.
Child support.
Yeah, by the time you want to start doing it, akona nini nani? Just tell yourself. Just tell yourself. You just want to waste time. Tell yourself when you have got out with my life. Santeni, fuck you, and just be on your way. Yeah. So, but on a serious note, like, of course, you will not be compensated for that. But now when you come out, now it is you and these kids, and you need to make sure that you're okay. And I say this even in my books, that you must consciously heal yourself, because how you've been socialized and what everybody expects of you is that you now put the children first and forget everything about yourself. Now you're no longer, in fact, if somebody sees you wearing a dress, I remember
they see you in the club, both of you. You'll be asked
where the children kids? Yeah, there's somebody I told I tied them on that tree. Because what's wrong with you, you stupid idiot? If you really wanted to know how those children are, you'd not be asking me in the club. You'd have called me at the beginning of the month and told me, hey, Felly, I've been thinking about you and those children. I have this 100K, can I send you? Then now you have a right to ask me when you see me in the club.
Yeah.
And you where the children, But otherwise, they're tied under a tree, okay? Let's move on. With our things,
Yes.
So, our go-to as women is just now, and especially because women have been socialized to perform. We're always performing for something. Now, and I see this with a lot of women who are separated or divorced, or maybe even going through a hard marriage. You want to show everybody how you are the good woman. Yani watu wataona mimi ndio mzuri, yeye ndiye akona shida. Why do you care? Stop caring.
They forget about you when they see him with his new girlfriend.
People move on. In fact, let me tell you, somebody was saying that, hey, I heard what my ex was saying about me. Clearly, I'm not a good person. Because of this. Let me tell you, you can hear. Just be like, what? I did all that. Yeah, I did bad things. It's good you left. It's very good this marriage didn't work. That is not a woman you should be with. You're not advising him. Yeah. So, as I keep saying, these days we have a lot of tools at our disposal. You might not have money even to go and see a therapist, but you are able to get online. and get a lot of tools that will help you until such a time, and if you think you need a therapist.
So, Felly, as we're winding up, what would you say to the woman who feels unseen? You know, she keeps hoping that if she keeps doing, it's going to help the people notice her, you know, but nobody notices her. Her birthdays goes unnoticed. Nobody cares about the labor that she's putting in, emotionally especially. And hizi zingine ni tangible. Juu physical tunaweza ona, oh, amechoka. Ama financial tunaweza ona, oh, my school fees is paid. But when it comes to the simple things like making sure nguo zetu zenye zimeraruka zimeshonwa. Kila mtu ako na viatu new kwa sababu zilikuwa zimeraruka. Sisi wote tumelipiwa trip, tulikuwa tuende na sijui nini. When it comes to all these small things, they're not really small, but like, you know what I mean. What would you say to this woman who's consistently giving herself, hoping that one day it will help, maybe she'll be seen? What would you say to her? Do you think she should keep pressing on and maybe one day she'll be rewarded for giving her all and loving without boundaries? Or do you think she's just flogging a dead horse?
There's a chapter in my book we don't need another superhero. Yeah. Stop being a superhero. We don't need a superhero. Advocate for yourself. I have another chapter also. Advocate for yourself. So there are things, even as you're a young mother, maybe your children are not even old enough, you know, maybe to look after you or whatever. There are things they can do for themselves. Why are you stitching their clothes? Yeah, teach them how to sew, and they should sew their clothes. Teach them how to polish their shoes. Teach them to do for themselves. Yeah. So we don't need another superhero. We don't need you to not eat. Now you're fainting all over the place because in the name of being a good woman.
For the
if somebody buys you a meal in town, kindly eat it. Yeah, eat and be full and go home when you're full. If they have to eat skuma, those children, they'll be okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm not advocating for you to mistreat children. I'm saying, if somebody tells you, come, I'd like to buy you lunch, can you go and eat that lunch? Yeah. If they say you can pick another one for your children, then pick. But like they do in the plane, first you, then yeah. Because if you drop down dead, and you have those 2, 3, 4, 5, even one child, and you leave them when they are young, that's not a life you want for that child. That child would rather have you around, because only a mother can do for their children what they do. Some are lucky to meet angels along the way, but usually it's your mother who can do for you some things and not expect anything in return and not hold it over your head. Yeah. So they would rather have you around. So some of the things let children do. Advocate for yourself. If your children are adults, you let them know, because there's some people who have adult children who still expect to go home and eat, then go wherever it is they're going, who still expect to live in that house and then behave the way they feel like. My mother doesn't love me so much, my father, and you're living in their house and you are an adult who could be doing their own things. Advocate for yourself. Sometimes tell the children, okay, now, guys, end of this year, everybody should have figured themselves out. Yes. This house is going to be up for rent. I'm going to the village. Yeah. Advocate for yourself sometimes. Yeah, so don't wait. Nobody's coming to save you.
How do they deal with the anxiety and the guilt that comes with, you know, picking yourself, choosing yourself first? Because as a girl, it's different. But now as a mother, and these are your kids, I've actually had the same discussion with my mom, and she told me, Ujaza utaelewa. And I wanted to argue, but valid.
Yeah, you're just like hapo.
Yes. You know, maybe when I see my daughter, it's going to be different.
Yes.
When it comes to making such a decision, especially such as advocating for myself, whatever the kind of situation is, even if my child ni kurutu, amenishinda, pengine ni ngumu sana, especially when you're a mother.
It is. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not something you'll be able to do immediately, but it's something you must start doing. You must start allowing yourself small things, small luxuries, like sitting down quietly to have a hot cup of tea. Because, you know, there are women who can't remember the last time they had a hot cup of tea in their house, because you'll be starting to drink who wanted, who needed. By the time you come back to your tea, it's cold. So, and training your children to see you that way. Because your children will take their cue from you. If you never need anything, how do you expect them to one day wake up in the morning and know you need something? You need, how will they know? Remember we are now the next women of I wish, why aren't women behaving like my mother? I must behave in a certain way for my son to say, I want a woman like my mother. And that certain way doesn't only mean suffering. Yes, I've provided for you, but she's a happy woman. She comes home, we can sit down, talk. We have stories for days, laugh. I tell him, dude, you go outside there to the Wines and Spirits. You can get yourself a half pack of beer, get me my drink. We sit down, we have a conversation. We discuss whatever politics. Sometimes we are arguing, whatever. So I would imagine that he's not looking for a woman who can't even buy herself a dress. Will be patching it up because he knows his mother loves good clothes.
Yes.
Yeah. So when he thinks of a woman, he knows that I make sure I have my hair done, my clothes, whatever. I'll go out to dance my Roomba. I sit down, I share with them even that Roomba. They might not like it too much now, but they see it. So you are the one who has to teach them. Yeah. But I know also, and I appreciate that maybe you didn't know all that time. So now it's hard to change. And it'll be hard for both of you, both you and your kids, and even your husband, even the people in the community.
Everyone who's benefiting from
free,
labor is going to have beef.
It's going to have beef, but you have to teach them.
Yes.
You alone can teach people how to treat you. Accept and forgive yourself for allowing them to treat you the way they have treated you before, because that's what you showed them. You showed them you're not deserving. You showed them that you don't get tired. You showed them that you don't like rest. All these things. Forgive yourself. Then now start slowly. You tell them, guys, I'm off to Java. Yeah, by yourself. Sit there with your 490, have the tea and the pastry or whatever it is, and just think about your own things. Get a journal, try and remember who you are, what you liked. Yeah, involve them in things that don't require tears. That everything that is just like, oh, hii dunia ni mbaya, hii dunia, baba yenyu, Mungu wangu. And let me tell you, there's nothing as bad as a depressed woman who prays because she cries from morning to evening. And it is scary for children. I don't know why women don't understand that thing. Yeah, the whole day. Yes, she just says, Mungu hakukuja takufare. And children are just there looking at you and wondering what's going on. Involve them in things that don't require tears. Sometimes tell children, let's go and eat sugar cane. It doesn't have to be big. People think, but I don't have money to go to Java. Or you can even eat sugar cane with your kids. Sometimes it's just something different. Yes. You bought ngumus. Just start where it is you are or what it is that you're able to do. Make everything an experience. We're going to the village, even if you're taking a public transport and whatever. You understand yourself. Christmas is coming. Make sure as you're buying clothes for your children, you've bought for yourself. You have a whole year. Christmas doesn't come by mistake.
Yes.
Yeah. So start saving small, and you go different places. This thing of thinking that I can only buy good clothes at where? You can go to Felly, you can go to Toy, you can go to Gikomba, you can dress in such beautiful clothes, designer if you like. But make sure as you're buying those children, also you have the new dress. And everybody Christmas wakes up in the morning with the new dress, even if it took you a whole year to buy for everybody dresses. But give a different experience. The experience can't be Christmas comes, you are like, unajua Mungu siku ingine hata sijui hata turehemu, sijui hata tukumbuka. That cannot be it. Yeah. So change your mindset. Yes, things are hard. My angel says we will encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Yes. Yeah. So be creative. Be creative.
Jitoe kwa victimhood.
Thank you.
Maisha imenitesa.
Inatutesa sisi wote, imagine. Yes. Yeah, inatutesa sisi wote. It's just that all of us don't sit down with our matesos here on our forehead.
True.
Yeah.
True. Well, Felly, thank you so much for joining me for this conversation. Sarah. I think the conversations that we've been having lately, I think I'll have to have Jagero have them in a parallel way now to men, because I'd love to know. I'd love to know how can men understand that there's something called even emotional labor,
and
how can they support?
Yes. And if they understand, why aren't they doing anything about it?
Exactly. Because I would love to hear those questions, and those are not questions I can ask a woman. And it would be interesting to see, because sometimes you'll be having a conversation with a man and it's a real eureka moment. Like it's never hit
occurred
them
to
before,
him,
so
yes.
now they're actually intentionally willing to listen more and learn. So
and if he's willing to listen, that's a plus.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is, but you never know if you don't open your mouth. Yeah. If something is happening to you, say it. If you're scared of saying it, it's maybe because you already know what answer you're going to get.
And you already know the situation.
You already know the situation, yeah. But you tell somebody, no.
Yes.
Where do you expect I'm getting it from? Or how do you expect I'm managing? Or why do you think I don't need rest?
Yes.
Or why do you think I don't need help?
Yeah. They simply don't humanize us. But that one, I will let Jagero and the boys come and talk to us about that. But thank you so much for joining me.
Asante sana for having
Always
me.
a pleasure to have you.
Always a pleasure.
And
Thank you.
About you. Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Guys, we're just about to hit the 100K mark, and we're truly very excited for this. Tutakuwa na plaki yetu na tutakuwa tumeandika kwa kuonesha all the work that we have truly been putting in. We are totally excited for this, and thank you so much for patronizing us consistently, for watching, for leaving us the feedback. I truly enjoy seeing the comments. Hata zile zenye unakonga mkinitukana hapo nazisomanga na cheka. Saa ingine na replyingi, lakini don't take it personally. Just having fun.
Or you can reply.
Yeah, na replyingi. There's this guy who called me a prostitute or a whore or something. Was talking about my tattoos, and I went on his page. I found where he works. I went to the work page. I saw the CEO, HR, and I tagged all of those people under the comment. I said, HR, oneni huyu mtu wenu hapa. Then come back, you have to apologize to me before I make you guys go viral and actually talk
make
about
it a
your
statement.
company, because
Yes.
it was some insurance company. Alafu kwa bio watu kao ndo wanaandikanga social worker, human advocate for lives of people, father of girl dad,
Christian, God-fearing,
husband of. And I'm like, why are you calling me a prostitute?
Yeah.
Ujai lala na mimi, ujai nilipa, ujai ni offer.
Ni nini yako tumetumia hapa?
So I love reading the comments. Don't take it personally.
But people must also realize that everybody can hold a different view. Yes. And it's okay. Yes. And don't let your bias keep you ignorant. You know, because now you think somebody doesn't believe what you believe, then now you can't listen. You can learn from anybody and everybody. Yeah, so keep an open mind, learn. But if you feel that you can be swayed by having a conversation with somebody, you are the problem.
No, I know Jagero will say, don't put that in the video, but in case it makes it past editing, ni fairly. Now you can't start saying, oh, don't bring my mom into this. I'm also a daughter. You don't think my mom is seeing those comments?
Somebody's child.
Where? So guys, thank you for joining us for this hour. I have been your host, Robertta Bobbie, here on Heartfelt with Bobbie on Dialogues with Jagero. Thank you so much. And until next time, go ahead.